Greetings, my fellow squires. I'm Max Cal, he's Carl Asami, and this is Nordic Warriors, released by Mashmashu Studios, and it was released in June 19, 2020 of this year, and it is a real-time strategy game.
A real-time tactical game.
That's right, and it was created by 2 development studios. Is their first game, and this is largely inspired by another game originally made by Bungie Studios, the Myth Trilogy.
Which is a series I'm shocked we have never featured here on our channel. That is easily one of my favorite PC games of all time. The first 2 games at least.
Yeah, so Bungie made the first 2 games, and then Mumbo Jumbo made the 3rd game after Take-Two Interactive bought the rights to the game, and it's been dormant ever since. And since it looks like they're not going to do anything with the Myth license, Liron Peer and Levin decided, why not make a spiritual successor?
And that's what we're looking at today with Nordic Warriors.
And already we're here on the chapter selection screen, and as you can see, we've played through at least roughly halfway through the game, and we're gonna start here on the training ground so you can train to become a Nordic warrior.
Yes, of course.
Learn the ways of fighting and such, and before you start any mission, you get to choose a difficulty level.
So Max, how lucky are you feeling today? How fierce?
Well, I've been playing around with this game for the past couple of months between warrior and hero, and as you can see, Ragnarok is the hardest difficulty here, but I'm gonna stick with hero, which is, I mean, we got easy, normal, hard, and harder, so hero it is, because before you become a legend, you gotta become a hero.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Welcome to Nordic Warriors. Please follow the instructions.
Okay.
The camera is your point of view. Mastering the camera controls is crucial for effective gameplay. Use the W and S keys to move forward and backward. Yes, that's very good. Use the A and D keys to move left and right. Yes, that's right. Use the Q and E keys to orbit.
Don't worry, this tutorial is not very long, but
Great.
I'd say probably essential if you're going to be playing this game.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna learn all the camera controls.
Yeah, the camera is completely controllable
Change the
in
camera
all ways.
hold the tab
So
key
yeah,
or
you
the
gotta learn
middle
that shit.
button of your mouse and drag them out. Very good. This is your warrior. Notice the map on the bottom right corner.
Is that a Nordic Warrior?
Represents
Indeed it
your
is.
warrior.
By Odin's beard.
Dots are
It is.
units.
If I could do a Nordic accent, I would, but
Field of view.
I can't, so instead I'll use my regular voice, which is my worst voice.
A blue
And this
circle
is your-
means that he selected.
Yeah.
To make your warrior stop any action, press the spacebar. Now your unit will take no action, even if he's being attacked.
So as we mentioned before, this game was heavily inspired by the Myth series from Bungie,
Stopped.
who are, of course, well known these days for the Halo series and Destiny.
The right mouse button
But
on the
before
ground
they got stuck doing first-person shooters all the time, they branched out and did real-time tactical games. They also made that
right
third-person action game,
Yeah,
Oni.
Marathon.
and of course, yeah, Marathon. Which, if you were a Mac user back in the day, that was their Doom killer. It was very
enemies won't
very fast action, fast-paced first-person shooter game.
You can select multiple units by double-clicking or marquee selecting. Select
I don't have much experience with that series, but Myth, heck yeah, I probably put more hours into that series than just about any other game out there, except for maybe Doom. And see, I guess StarCraft. I put a preposterous amount of time into StarCraft.
Yeah. Yeah, for us it was Warcraft, Starcraft, Command and Conquer, Myth.
Yep. I've kind of fallen off the real-time strategy and real-time tactical game bandwagon as of late, which is it's a damn shame. There's been a lot of great games that have come out since then, but I don't know.
Well done.
Just haven't been playing them lately. But when we saw this game being advertised and we started reading about it and looking at videos, we got really excited because this is scratching an itch that hasn't been scratched in a long time for us. I mean, when did Myth 3 come out? Like
2003.
2003. It's been a long time. And that game was a bit of a disappointment, unfortunately. As Max said, it was made by a different studio, Mumbo Jumbo, and while those guys were very, very passionate about what they were doing, and they put a lot of effort into the game, unfortunately the publisher kind of screwed things up. Made them rush the product out before it was ready, and by golly it shows, because that game is a buggy mess. And just doesn't have the polish that a Myth game really deserves. It's too bad, because when you listen to interviews with that development team, you could tell that they really had a vision, and it just the odds were stacked against them.
Between inexperience and lack of time, they just didn't quite pull together as it could have, although not a total disaster.
Critics and fans definitely noticed, and that unfortunately killed the Myth series.
Yeah, and pay attention to the alchemy. Yeah, I've noticed ever since the last update, the alchemist and the shaman will automatically attack the target before they're done giving you directions.
a little glitch.
Yeah.
You really need to watch out for friendly fire.
Well, it is, a fairly new release.
But so yeah, that was the shaman who can create explosions as well.
Press the R key and left
Well,
click on the
luckily she's not automatically healing here, but yeah. So this is going to be our primary unit for most of the game, the shaman who can blow things up, heal units, and convert werewolves, which we will be demonstrating in a second here.
You can also convert a werewolf to be your ally. Select the shaman, press the
Yeah, there's a number of mythical
left click.
creatures from folklore that appear in this game, the werewolf being one of them.
Well done. You can use the C and X keys to decrease or increase the pace of the game. Try it.
So the real-time tactical genre is not the most popular genre out there. For those of you who are unaware of what it is, most people are going to be familiar with a game like StarCraft or Warcraft, where you're collecting resources, you're managing a base, you're constructing buildings to make units. This game does away with all of that. You're set on a battlefield, you've got your set number of units, and you don't get any more. Now, some levels do give you reinforcements on the way if it's scripted as part of the story. But otherwise, yeah, you're stuck with what you've got, which means every unit's life is essential. Another important thing about this game and the Myth series is every unit, their experience is actually tracked. Units who have more kills under their belt are more effective than new units. And so you want to keep your guys alive as much as possible because they get to carry over to the next battle.
I'm definitely going to be doing that for the first couple of missions.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I completed the tutorial, and they give you the options to reset the level if you felt you can do better somehow, but
It being the tutorial level.
Let's jump right into the first level and get this story started.
I'll shut up and let him tell it.
It was the beginning of winter. The darkening sky brought cold winds and falling leaves. Freya and her warriors had just returned to Chaos from a 3-day search of the forest with no success. It had been days since the foraging party failed to return on time. Where could their missing friends be? As they approached home, Freya felt something was wrong. In fact, she had never felt like this before, as if someone was squeezing her insides, making it hard to breathe. Perhaps they were just tired from the road, she thought, but it was quiet. Too quiet. She looked into her friend's eyes and confirmed something was definitely
Is
wrong.
the rat her friend?
As far as I know, there are no rat companions in this game.
Shoot.
And here we are, boom. No, as Carl explained, no resources to collect, no base to manage. You get what you get, and you try to win with it. Now, one of the neat things about this game, which most people probably won't care about, is you can actually rename your units here. So it kind of makes these characters a bit more personalized since they're going to be joining us in this journey here. I'm not going to be renaming every unit, but I'm mostly doing this because there's a rare occasion in which names will
Be duplicated along the way.
yeah. I'm not gonna be get you all bored with me wasting time doing that, but I'll do it later when I have time for myself.
Attack.
Now here are our first
This is our
wave
first
of
encounter.
enemies, and they seem to be undead-like. Unfortunately, they don't tell us what these units are. Even when you try to click on them, they don't give us anything. All we know is their health bar. And since this is the first mission, it's very crucial to give your units some kills here.
Yeah, because this is gonna be some of their easiest kills in the game. So you don't wanna just blow them all up with your shaman who can, take care of these guys right quick. You wanna let your units take care of some of it. Oh, managing their health along the way. See, that guy's got 2 kills already. So we don't want him to die just yet.
Fortunately, they're pretty generous with the heals in this game.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. The Myth series, generally speaking, you had less opportunities to heal than you do in this game. I could be jumping the gun because I've only played the first 6 levels, but it definitely seems like you get more heals in this one. What happened to those guys?
Right.
Apparently things aren't as normal as they appear to be. It seems that these guys are responsible for it.
Incoming.
Of course, if you're doing your very best to try to win the game, you probably would be spamming this character a lot since she can outrun these guys, and once she...
Yeah, and in just a few attacks, I mean, she could completely wipe out that group of guys, but like we mentioned earlier, you want to give your other units some kills.
Yes.
Come on, archers. Good job.
Coming.
One thing I really appreciate about this game and also the Myth series is just the sheer amount of gore and that you see when a battle takes place on the battlefield. I mean, you know what happened. Look at all the limbs and blood covering the terrain here. Definitely a staple of the Myth series, and this game follows suit, which I definitely appreciate.
There's supposed to be, I think, 2
Gibs
groups
and
around.
giblets
All right.
everywhere.
On my way.
Well, these 2 groups are gonna try to converge into one to try to wipe out my guys, but
Yes.
that's just gonna make it much easier for me to wipe them out.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little bit closer here while the archers...
Yeah, pepper away at them with arrows.
Yeah. And when it comes to these type of real-time strategy games, archers are gonna be your go-to. Because you're gonna need those crucial shots if you're gonna pick away at these enemies.
Yeah, big strategy in this game and also the Myth series was having groups of guys following a faster unit and trying to corral them on a certain path, and then just having your archers try to pick them off at a distance.
Oh,
Or your
Calder
explosive units.
died here.
As you wish.
Good job.
So far, so good.
Almost. I think I'm about halfway through this mission, so I should probably
Little
save.
safety save.
We'll call it LP Hero, I guess.
This is your playthrough, so I'll let you handle the naming conventions here.
Yeah. But as you can see there, we already had a few previous save files. But want to keep those separate to this one.
Right.
Now instead of cutting through the town, I'm gonna go through kind of a circle here through the outskirts. As going straight into town will prove to be most dangerous, as you'll see later.
Right.
Yeah, when I played, I definitely didn't handle things this way, but I also wasn't doing it as difficult to difficulty.
Yeah.
I think I'm playing on normal difficulty.
Yes.
Pulling it back a bit further.
Scout ahead a little bit here. So as you can see on the map in the lower right, we're trying to reach that red flag in the corner of the map.
Right.
We finally got our second set of enemies, these skeleton warriors.
On my way.
Bow and arrows don't work as well compared to shooting arrows at these guys since they don't have armor.
And those guys are a little bit faster, so you want to
Yeah.
keep that in mind the first time you encounter them. You don't want to get overrun.
Will do.
Arrows are still fairly effective against them, though.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Just clicked there a little bit. We might want to reload, but we'll see.
Yes.
Oh gosh, my warriors are still alive.
I did not expect that guy to survive.
Yeah,
On my way.
the thing that you can also do with the shaman is you can hold on the control button, and then when you hit... Oh,
Right.
hold on.
As was shown in the tutorial, yeah, you can control click and attack the ground. Sometimes it's more effective than trying to target a specific unit.
Wait a second. Wrong spec.
And later in the game, you get explosive satchel charges that you can place on the ground.
Yeah, once the...
And in order to set those off, you want to control click next to them to set off an explosion next to them. And that just creates a much bigger boom. It's very crucial in some of the later levels as you start fighting larger and larger groups of enemies.
Yeah, I believe we'll start seeing that by the time we get to level 3.
Yes.
I should probably save since my warriors nearly died. I want to at least get through the first couple of missions without having any casualties,
Yes.
but I think
Are you
after
gonna
that-
try to do a no casualty run, like we used to do
Yeah,
in Myth
normally.
back in the day?
I mean, realistically, it would be the best strategy to have since you want to have the absolute best units you can have to win the war. But
Yeah, we're just
wanna
not
feel
well
the-
versed enough.
yeah. But I think by the time I get to mission 3, I'm gonna let anything go, unless things get really bad. So any soldier I lose by then, I'm gonna have to take the loss like a real war. Like XCOM.
Oh, yeah, XCOM is another game where every time you lose a unit, it really hurts.
Oops. Clumsy me. All right.
I'll let the archers take care of these guys.
It's not like Command and Conquer where
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
unit's
really
a dime a
matter.
dozen.
They're just a numbers game.
Yeah.
Who cares about the casualty rates?
Yes. Right.
I wonder how far my units could walk into the ocean. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't try entering the water when I was playing.
Fairly far, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well,
There we
it's
go.
up to there. Just wanted to test that. Actually, what I should do is I should be hotkeying you guys.
Well, it's the first level. You don't really need to.
All right.
But yeah, like many other strategy games these days, you can assign a number key to groups of units,
Yes.
or you can double-click a unit to select all of that type that are on screen. You can also there's different formations that you can choose for your units by pressing the number keys after. They're each assigned to a different formation. So there are long lines, short lines, circles, boxes, kind of wing vanguard formations.
Right.
And unlike some games, formations actually do matter in this game.
Oh shoot, not the skeleton warriors.
They don't matter so much in this first level, but you definitely want to play with the different formations in some of the later levels.
Ready for the count.
Or move those archers back.
Understood.
Whew.
Not bad,
Really?
not bad.
Getting close to the edge here. Twice my soldiers nearly died.
Right.
Now, one thing I'm really looking forward to is they are planning a online component to this game, and they're going to be adding 2-player co-op, which I'm excited about. You could do the same in the Myth series.
Right.
And the way that works is whoever's hosting the game gets to assign units to other players, and then you each control your own little groups of units, and it can make some of the harder levels a lot easier. That's for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
especially when you're dealing with giant waves of enemies.
Yeah.
It can be tough to micromanage, which is why we got the speed up and speed down buttons here
No.
to kind of help out with that. I don't remember if there's another wave of enemies.
Coming.
Well, there's,
Looks like there's at least one more.
yeah, at least one or two.
So be it.
I'm just gonna make sure I'm not triggering anything here. So looks like we got more skeleton warriors as well as these sorcerer looking dead guys.
You want to be careful around those fools.
Yeah, I haven't quite decided how I want to do this.
You might want to save and just kind of show off what happens if you charge those guys, because
Yeah.
you might think, just a few skeletons, how hard can they be? But these guys pack a punch.
I should probably... I'll test it out first, and
Charge!
don't think I need... Although I definitely need the warriors.
Yeah, I
But,
gotta say, for being a smaller development team, I'm pretty impressed with this game so far.
Yes.
No. And we lost the mission because we lost our hero. But
So
yeah,
as
this
you-
is what the score game statistics will tell you: the amount of survivors, your heroes, and of course your casualties. And unfortunately, since I lost a hero, I failed the mission. But yeah, those undead skeleton sorcerers are quite dangerous.
On my way.
Yeah, you really want to be light on your feet charging those guys, constantly moving back and forth to dodge their projectiles.
All right.
Try to close the
Well,
gap.
There's actually several ways of dealing with this, but I'm gonna try the hard way first, just to see if I can actually get this done.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yes.
Just hoping to get at least close enough to...
Right.
Maybe I can use my archers.
Yeah, I can't
Boy.
say this is going very well. Nope.
Has been defeated.
I don't know about this.
No, you got this. You got this.
Actually, I'm gonna see if I let my archers take care of this. I might have to slow the game speed down, but we'll see.
That's a feature we haven't really shown off much, but
Coming.
definitely a staple in the Myth series to be able to control the game speed. You could actually pause the game to issue orders as well.
Ah, I accidentally rose the speed instead of... Dang it. I'm really trying here.
You're gonna be seeing a lot of reloads in this playthrough. That's just the nature of this game, unfortunately.
For the later
So
missions,
you can see how co-op mode would really help in a situation like this, because you could have one person controlling the unit that's initially charging these guys, and then they could distract and kind of dance from side to side while someone else moves in their units from a different direction. It's a lot easier to coordinate that way.
Dang it. I don't want to lose any units yet. You know, it might be harder with... Maybe I should just send 2 archers. Okay,
I think I
two.
normally use 3 in situations like this, or 2 or 3, but
yeah, but these 2 need experience.
good point, good point.
Of course.
For anyone who used to play Myth and you're watching this, I was part of the Deer crew back in the day. They were kind of an infamous group of players who primarily would play co-op missions. That's what we were known for.
As you can see, I sort of have to cheese the game here in order to beat these guys. I'm sure once they implement the co-op feature, it won't be as cumbersome as this.
Yeah, I don't know if Max and I will do a co-op playthrough of this, but we definitely have plans to do the Myth series together.
There we
We're
go.
still trying to decide when we're going to do that.
Coming.
Alright, I think I can just finish these guys off here.
One thing I'll say the Myth series does better than this game is the lore and the story presentation. The writing is definitely a little bit better, but considering this was made by a much smaller team and a much smaller budget, and I don't think they hired professional writers for this, that it's still a solid presentation, I'd say.
I'm just gonna make a separate save here.
They've really nailed the gameplay. If you've played the Myth series, this has everything you'd expect from a game like this.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna provoke these guys and then let my warriors take care of the rest.
Attack.
Nice.
Good job. And I practically have beaten the mission. Although, before I actually walk into the
You're gonna load
I'm
the
gonna-
game, or?
Actually, I'm gonna go back to my other previous save just to show off another way you can get through this part. So if you find these sorcerers
All right.
to be a bit too tough, you know, they're giving you a hard time, always blasting your units, you just hug the side of the beach here. And then you just walk over to the end, and then you win. Or,
Yes. You are
Yeah, and then you win.
yeah, there you go. You just win. You don't have to fight these guys at all. But yeah, 13 minutes, 18 seconds. No casualties.
I gotta say, Max, this is not a very good speed run.
No. But yeah, that was just a small taste of what's to come. Hopefully the rest of the game will be... who am I kidding? I'm gonna die a lot. I mean, the first 7 missions might be easy since I have played them, but the rest of the game, I have no idea.
So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So tune in next time as we continue our journey and try to figure out why these undead beings have decided to attack us.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say because they're undead and that's just what undead do. I mean, you've seen The Walking Dead, you've seen Game of Thrones. It's their MO. So until then, by Odin's beard, drink your mead, say your prayers, and yeah, stab a few zombies along the way. I'm Carl Asami.
I'm Max Cal, and until then, keep on training, my fellow squires, because you too can become a Nordic warrior.